the hurtful words that people call us. We take those words personally and we take them to heart. We start to believe what other people say about us and forget who we are.
Those were the words that I was facing every day when I walked into my high school. When I created Labels, the video, I was in a very dark place, and I felt a lot of sadness and grief and overwhelmed from the negative words that were being said and that I felt surrounded by. And so I turned the camera on and I did it so impulsively. I just took the eyeliner and I just was so angry and just started scribbling words onto my face. Just terrible words that no one ever likes being called and no one ever should be called. It should just never be used. And so when I took the eyeliner and I wrote the negative words on me and I erased them with the makeup wipe, I felt so empowered. And I was gonna end the video there. And then I decided that I wasn't. I was gonna take a different colored eyeliner and write positive words like smart, happy, bright. I wanted people to see me the way that I saw myself, as a bright and happy and empowered young woman. That was the first time that I ever felt vulnerable. And that was the first time that I ever shared my story on the internet. And this was a time where it was not common to open up about mental health. So when I posted the video, I did not have a lot of support from friends or family. You know, people told me, you need to take it down. It's not appropriate, or it's a really bad reflection of you. And I decided I wanted to keep making a difference because I knew in my heart, I knew that it would help someone, just one person. And even if the video just helped one person, I felt like I could make a difference. And it started to get more and more traction. And slowly I started to see the view count climb. And people started to comment, I'm being bullied at school, or I feel the same way that you do. And that they wanted to view themselves more positively. They wanted to start thinking of themselves as the words that I wrote with the blue eyeliner, and that they started to erase internally the black words that I originally wrote on my face. It made me feel empowered. I felt very heard. I got an email from Good Morning America asking if they could publish the story. And being 17 years old and creating a YouTube video, not thinking anyone would see it, just thinking a couple of people would see it. And now this national outlet has seen it. I felt so affirmed in my actions and what I was doing. And so although I was getting positive attention from the media, I also had a lot of media outlets that published unwanted information about me. They published my high school that I went to, and I had people write notes to my high school. I had death threats. I had people zoom in to my window in my room to try to figure out where my neighbors lived, to see where I lived. I would spend time in the comments section on Good Morning America, on People magazine, and it was hard. It was hard to read comments from grown adults and from people saying, her face looks punchable, she's a loser, she doesn't have any friends. It was really hard. And I assume it was hard for my parents too, to read that about their own child. I remember sitting in a dark bedroom with food all over the place, wrappers and glasses of, water and soda and feeling so alone. I had missed so much school, and I really wasn't welcome at school. Teachers had said things about my video and, why are you posting that? That's not a great look. And I wanted to feel happy, and I just didn't. I thought I was sick. That's how powerful mental illness is you feel sick. You feel depleted of all energy and just so alone. I sat in my bedroom for days on end, just crying, not knowing what was wrong with me. I thought I had some disease of some sort. I thought I had cancer because I was just so alone and just so sad. And I wanted help. I had problems accessing care in my very small town where I'm from. Not only was mental health not talked about, I didn't know that I had a mental health condition, but also it was something that people just didn't know how to treat. When I went to my pediatrician's office when I was 16 or 17 with symptoms of depression and anxiety, I was told just to drink a Gatorade too and to be hydrated. And that's something that, no kid should ever have to go through. It's so important to me that physicians and professionals are educated on symptoms and signs of what a mental health condition looks like, because no child should ever have to live through an undiagnosed life. I remember watching a video of a girl saying that she had depression and anxiety on YouTube. And I was thinking, I'm sure this is it. I'm positive this is it. And I remember going and trying to talk to friends about it, and them saying, no, I don't think that's it. No, you definitely don't look like you have depression, or you can't have anxiety. You're not an anxious person. And I remember the feeling of being so low and feeling so sad that I didn't know what was wrong. So eventually I felt like there was no way out, and the only way was to take my own life. Being 17 in a children's mental health hospital was rough. It was scarring in its own sense. Being in a hospital surrounded by other people going through what you're going through, but also being so isolated from people, your family, your friends, not seeing anyone. I missed my senior prom. I missed a bunch of different life events that I'll never get back. But at the same time, I got back my life and my freedom from being in the hospital and from recovering. And so after I was out of the hospital, I went and saw a therapist, and I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. And I was given medication. And I take the medication every day, first thing I do when I wake up. And there's nothing to be ashamed of for having to take medication. And I want people to know that there is nothing to be ashamed of. I don't think that one ever looks at themselves and says, I'm going to become a mental health advocate today. I don't think that anyone ever looks at themselves and thinks that. It's something that happens, and it's something that you grow with, and it takes time. I found NAMI through college, and NAMI on campus was a great organization that I was a part of. I was able to do a couple of things as far as the walk, but also I was able to work with some legislators in the area to advocate for mental health for all. Mental health is something that is a basic need. The way that we look at food, water, shelter, mental health, and healthcare is on there, and we're not treating it like so. Right now, mental health care is a struggle for people all over the United States. For children, for young adults like myself, for adults, for seniors. It's a struggle for people to access care. Part of it has to do with affordability, with insurance, with people not able to have the proper funds to pay, but also finding people that are willing to help them and to listen is a struggle in itself. It's been months and months that I've heard people say, Lauren, do you have someone that you can refer me to? I've been on a wait list for, X amount of months because I can't find anyone to talk to. Mental health care is something that everyone deserves. It shouldn't be a privilege. It shouldn't be something that only certain people get. It should be something that is for all. I just went to the last walk with my husband and my son, and it meant the world to have their support, but also to have them supporting the millions of people that live with mental health conditions. And it's so important to me that we are spreading awareness. NAMI has helped me by empowering me so I can empower others, and helps me not feel alone.